Afternoon, everyone. It's a beautiful day to see a ball game here in the Valley. You're looking at a live picture of Chase Field, where players will hit the field for the World Baseball Classic in just a few hours. Team USA takes on Puerto Rico, and of course, there is absolutely no reason to close the roof tonight. And even though our high hasn't officially come in, we've already surpassed our normal temperature for this time of year, which is 76 degrees. Right now, we're sitting at 81 at Sky Harbor. Dew points at 25. Relative humidity is at 13%, and right now we have a light wind at 5 miles an hour. Here's a look at the rest of the valley. We are in the mid-80s there in Gilbert, 81 in Mesa, Apache Junction at 82. Up to the north, we've got some 70s up there, 79 for Scottsdale, 76 currently in Carefree. It is 81 Peoria, 82 in Glendale, and up in Wickenburg, you're sitting at 77 degrees. So pretty much every location either at the normal or above the normal for this time of year. But things looking pretty good even up in northern Arizona, where we're in the 50s in Flagstaff right now, 62 for the Grand Canyon. Things looking really beautiful around Sedona. Same thing over Prescott. 81 for Bullhead City, 83 for Lake Havasu City. And then out to the southeast, we've got Safford at 77 and 82 in Tucson. Not much wind out there. For the most part, we're all in the single digits. We do have winds at 18 miles an hour there over Bullhead City. But for the most part, as long as we're under this ridge of high pressure, don't expect too much action in our weather, other than the fact that temperatures are going to continue to climb. So here pretty soon we'll be in the 90s, probably breaking some records here in the valley. We'll see warm temperatures, though, all across the state. And for sure, we are expecting to see a good deal of sunshine during the day and clear skies at night. So if you want to find the cooler weather, you'd have to go well, not too far, but kind of far up towards Denver. They're still sitting in the 30s right now, the mid-40s for St. Louis, pretty much anywhere up into parts of the Midwest. East Coast right now, fairly mild, 51 for Washington and 66 in Raleigh. So tomorrow, not quite the 80s or 90s, but almost. 92 Thursday will break a record that day, probably break another record on Friday. Then over the weekend, temperatures do start to fall a little bit. We're into the upper 80s on Monday and Tuesday. Tram?
I cannot get over. Olivia Newton-John is one of the more than 2.4 million women in the U.S. who has survived breast cancer.
And she's proving she's a survivor again, preparing for her first tour in 35 years. She's looking back at some of her riskier moves along the way. So let's play the one she says was one of the riskiest. Olivia says that the 1981 release of Physical was highly controversial. Some radio stations even banned the song because of its lyrics, and some thought the video in which she played a gym instructor was too racy.
We recorded it, and I remember calling Roger Davies right after I'd finished it, maybe a week or two, and going, "Oh, I'm not sure we should put this out. It's a little too risque." And I look back now, and it's hilarious because that was so naughty in its time, and so nothing now compared to what's out now, you know. But that was another challenge that worked, thank goodness. It was either going to be a big success or nothing.
Yeah, it was a great song. Physical proved to be the biggest hit of her career.
We have come so far, haven't we?
We have. It's hard to
all the singers and the rappers and what they are singing about nowadays.
Mild compared to some of that stuff.
Yeah. Okay, we want to toss it out to Haley on the plaza. Hey,
I was going to say, I love that video. I get how that was a risk at the time, but it really paid off for her, to say the least. Thanks, guys. Okay, to us.